It says I'm live, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? This is your brother Shabazz with the proper perspective. Now, I actually hope I am live, but I know there's a delay on all these type of things. So um, we going live. We're gonna be talking about Winsome Earle-Sears. That's who we really gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about Winsome Earle-Sears. And now that I know we live and direct. How y'all doing? This is your brother Shabazz. Sometimes your Professor Shabazz, but we just gonna keep it with Shabazz. How y'all doing? This is the proper perspective. Gonna come to you live today, this afternoon. Hope y'all had your good lunch and all of that. I'm not gonna be up here that long. Psych. No, I'm not gonna be here long. That's just wanted to drop this little thing on here. Saw this news clip and I just had to speak on it. Now, let me pull my screen up correctly because once again, I'm working with a new screen. So here we go. So I saw this. I did not fully watch the entire interview. So, there's my open confession to you. I'll probably watch the rest of it later on this afternoon, this evening. But let me see if we can get this thing working. Add to the stage. Okay. Something ain't working right. Of course. Okay, so y'all can see me. We on the full screen now. And I'm gonna try to play this clip. I'm gonna play this clip. Winsome Earle-Sears on Meet the Press. So hopefully you can see it. And then we will get on with today's show.
What policies of the president's do you disagree with in particular?
I'm not sure I understand your question because I'm talking to you about policies that.
Hold up. You're not sure you understand the question. Wait a second. Wait a second. You're not sure you understand the question? Is that what we're going? Is that what we're doing? You don't understand the question? Second. So you don't understand the question. This is hilarious. Let me run it back. Maybe it was a difficult question. Let's run this thing back here.
As you know well, in the state of Virginia, there are a lot of independent thinkers as well, and independents often make up the decisions in state elections.
As you know, so he says, as you know, there's a lot of independent voters in Virginia. I might be one of them. So as you know, there may be a lot of independent voters in Virginia. Okay, yeah. That don't sound too difficult to understand.
As you know well, in the state of Virginia, there are a lot of independent thinkers as well, and independents often make up the decisions in state elections like this. So what policies of the president's do you disagree with in particular?
Now, is that really a difficult question? What policies of the president do you particularly disagree with? Sounds like a softball question to me.
I'm not sure I understand your question because I'm talking to you about policies that I'm going to put forth in Virginia.
And I'm asking vis-a-vis the president, what policies of the president's do you disagree with? It's an opportunity to detail what you stand for.
Policies.
Are there any policies of the Republican Party, of the President of the United States as a leader of the party, that you differ with? It's a simple question for the voters of your state.
Yes, but I see what you're doing here, and you're favoring her side, and I don't understand that because you're.
Okay, so if somebody asks you as a candidate running for office, and you happen to be in the same party of the current administration, and they ask you, are there any policies that you disagree with? And you say, well, you're favoring the other team. Well, that alone tells you what you think about the policies of your party, let alone the inability or the lack of desire to answer the question. And I think that is extremely telling in and of itself. But I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of the clip as I load up this other piece. Let's go.
You're supposed to not be doing that. I'm telling you.
How am I favoring her side by asking you what your side is?
Okay, let's break down what just happened here, because that was.
Okay, now I'm not gonna play this guy's clip. No disrespect to him at all, but it is his clip. You can check him out on, I think he's on Instagram. That's where I got it. I want to focus on the question and the lack of an answer. So as I get this other piece pulled up here, let me make sure. Okay, so here we go. So again, she's on Meet the Press. You can see it's not a difficult question to ask and answer. Now, when you start to realize, when you start to let me see, let me go back to the big screen. There we go. So when you start to analyze this type of thing, and it doesn't even take a whole lot of analytical brain power to recognize what's going on. This is a master class, ladies and gentlemen, dodging the questions. This lady must have, she's got to have like a dodgeball championship somewhere in the background. She tap danced around every single question. Now, like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did watch more than just the clip. But she danced around every question that was asked of her. She danced around it as though her political life depended on it. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It does. Now, you can see in the clip I showed, the host pressed her multiple times on this one little question. Now, I will have you know, as the interview goes on, this is the dance that they end up doing, and he's pressing her on several questions. It's not like he wanted to do the press, it's that she just won't answer anything. He asked her specifically if she support Trump bringing federal troops into Virginia cities. He asked her whether or not she needed to endorse, or rather, whether or not she needed Trump's endorsement in order to win. He asked her, what Trump policies do you actually disagree with? That's the clip where we played at the top. And what does she do? She jumps, she moves, stick it moves, she dances around, dodgeball at its finest. Now, but let's think about these questions. Because when he literally asked her about deploying military to Virginia cities for training, now we all know it ain't training. We all know they are definitely ramping up a rapid response team because they're planning for something. And all she could muster, all she could fix her mouth to say was Virginia is already safe because we know how to do this. Every city that they have invaded was already safe before their invasion. The lack of safety has only popped up once they arrive. So I'm sorry, Winsome Earle-Sears, that is not an appropriate answer. It's not an effective answer. That is not an answer that would guarantee or grant you a vote. That's a political two-step. She literally will not say whether she's going to let Trump send troops into Virginia. Now, y'all think about that. She ain't going to tell you. So if she won't tell you that she'll block it, you know she won't. Now, this might be this next little piece about it. This might be the best part. They asked her to name one policy, and this is what really got me going. They asked her to name one policy she disagrees with. And she pushed back saying, I'm running to be governor of our great Commonwealth of Virginia. And if we're talking about the president's policies, then my goodness, did you talk to Abigail Spanberger about Biden's policies that created inflation? Well, guess what, lady? We are no longer in 2000 and what? That was 4.5 years ago. You don't run on the past, or at least you're not supposed to. We are talking about whatever happened during the Biden administration is entirely irrelevant to right now. Now, people need to know, people want to know what you're going to do for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And the current president's policies are the ones that are hurting Virginians. But she don't want to talk about that. She just don't want to give an answer. Now, she can't name a single Trump policy that she disagrees with. So, I don't know. She could have said, if you're gonna do the two-step, if you're gonna dance around some things, you can dance around not liking the government shutdown, but still trying to support your president. I mean, if Marjorie Taylor Greene can speak candidly about not liking the government shutdown, but still supporting her president, why can't you? Why can't Winsome Earle-Sears? Is it that she's not politically savvy enough? Or is it that she wants even more shutdown activities? Now, I think that's something we really need to think about. She's running for Virginia governor, but she won't stand up for Virginia at all. She definitely won't stand up for Virginia when it matters the most. Now, everybody likes to talk about the fact Virginia is one of the hardest hit states during the government shutdown because we have so many government employees. But for Winsome Earle-Sears, why don't you talk about what Joe Biden did 4.5 years ago? Because there was no government shutdown when Joe Biden was in office. The last government shutdown we had was when Trump was in office, your party leader. You can't pivot yourself up out of that. Now, here's when it gets even more ridiculous. She was asked 3 separate times. Now, this is in another interview. This ain't the Meet the Press one. This was in another interview. She was asked 3 separate times whether she would urge the president to stop firing Virginia federal workers. Now, we all know you can't make the man do what he don't want to do, but you can at least stand up and speak out. And every single time she was asked the question, she deflected. And she wanted to blame Democratic senators as if they are the ones in charge of things. You can't blame the janitor when the checks don't come out. You can't blame the school teacher if the electricity ain't on. Get yourself straight on who's in charge of what. 3 times she dodged. The interviewer literally had to say, "So to be clear, would you or would you not urge the president to not cut the federal jobs?" And she just kept pivoting. Now, let's be frank, let's be factual. Virginia has over 300,000 federal workers. These are real people, real human lives, real Virginia jobs. And she won't even ask Trump to stop cutting them. Like I said, you can't make the man do what he don't want to do. But why would we invest in you as a representative for us if you are quiet as a mouse? Because the truth is, she's more loyal to Trump than she is to the Virginia voters she's trying to fool into casting a ballot for her. Now, here's the real kicker, because even her own campaign staff, they got caught. There's some reports out there that said her campaign staff, there's people that work with her and directly her and only her. These ain't Trump people. Her own staff said she's actually more conservative than Trump is. You can go check that article out. She's trying to play both sides. She won't criticize the president, at least not publicly. She must have criticized him behind closed doors, because her team is saying she's actually more extreme than he is. Now, what that tell you? At best, it's political cowardice. She wants Trump voters, but she can't get even Trump to endorse her. She wants moderate voters, but she won't distance herself from Trump's policies. She won't talk about her own policies. She wants Virginia voters, but she won't stand up for Virginia voters. Now, a long time ago, they said, well, you can't serve 2 masters. I used to have problems with that. I used to wrestle with that. I don't know, maybe you could. Nah. Now that you think about it, you literally can't. You either stand for Virginia or you stand for Trump. She's made her decision. And every time she opens her mouth, you see she's made her decision. She shows us exactly where her loyalties are. And it ain't with us. Now, y'all know one of the elders said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So, I hope y'all registered to vote. Go on out there to vote. Early voting is already started. I know a couple of people that hit me up and said, I just voted, so I know the voting is going on. Get yourself on out there and vote blue. That's what I'm going to say. Come hell or high water, we need more Democrats in office than we need Republicans. I'd love to say go vote for a third party, but ain't no third party candidates. So certainly there ain't none with any real significant steam, power, and capability of winning. So that's on the shelf right now. I encourage you to go vote. I encourage you to vote for the Democratic ticket from the top to the bottom. So go vote for Abigail Spanberger. Go vote for, now I'm going to get her name wrong, and I do apologize, Hashmi Ghazala. And go vote for that brother Jay Jones. Thank y'all for listening. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree. Let me know where you're listening, where you're watching from. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and share it with somebody else. Hit the subscribe button so you catch me when I'm live next time. And I'm gonna talk to you later. This is Shabazz, your brother Shabazz, sometimes your Professor Shabazz. This is the proper perspective, ladies and gentlemen, and we out of here. Peace.